My name's Allegra. I'm a third summer and I use they, them, theirs pronouns.
Hello, I'm Rory. I'm a resident faculty at the school and I use he, him pronouns. In previous year's orientations, a faculty member would give a comprehensive talk on the history of our school's anti-racism mission, how it came about, its challenges, and the opportunities it presents. Last year's committee, including Allegra and myself, along with 5 others, decided that we wanted to add an extra layer to this telling of our history.
We asked, how does our clinical social work school's anti-racism efforts fit within a wider historical context of American social worker practice and its relationship to the ongoing legacies of chattel slavery, settler colonialism, and other forms of systematic racism that are so foundational to the U.S. social and economic relations today. We also wanted to highlight the activism work of communities of color, indigenous communities, and white allies in the face of these systematic violences.
So in this short video, which really can't do justice to these very complicated histories, we wanted to emphasize the way in which cultural production within communities of color have acted as a valuable resource to imagine other worlds, other lives, outside of a system built on the values and practices of white supremacy. We tried to explore these stories intersectionally. Most of the visual and sound art that appear in the video were created by trans and queer artists of color and indigiqueer two-spirit artists.
We cannot forget or ignore this history of oppression and resistance as it is pervasive in today's current social political environment, including in our own clinical social work practices. We recognize this history in order to spark thought and discussion around confronting these injustices as a social worker. It is important to also recognize the continued work of BIPOC folks within the social work profession, as this history and information may not be widely recognized, and BIPOC social workers continue to face racism within the social work profession. Each of you students have joined this profession for different reasons, and throughout this program, you will develop your own professional identity as a social worker. As social workers, we are called to disrupt and challenge systems and institutions of oppression.
Part of that comes with self-exploration, to disrupt our own biases and a knowledge of how history shaped these biases. We can do this work individually, and we must do this work collectively. Together, these ethical practices set the stage for creating alternative, more just ways of practicing clinical social work. As you watch this short video, we might ask this question: how will A22's histories be told? What will be your individual and collective legacies?
We
you.